What's happening, everybody? The Job Guys back with you one more time. Nitro Nick is here, Ryan is here, and we are going to review the second of the modern day Saturday night's main event. Happened January 25th, 2015, just before the Royal Rumble from 2015. Wow, we're way off. How about 2025? And a week before the Royal Rumble, which we will also use this show as a preview for maybe one of the most anticipated Royal Rumbles coming up here in a very long time. Numerous guys who have a chance to win this thing. So we will get into that. But first, the second Saturday night's main event. This one coming from San Antonio, Texas. The card, Nick, maybe not that great on this one. I think, as we always say, the reason why Saturday night's main event was special is because you didn't get a lot of big-time matches and cards back in the day. And now, well, you see this darn near every Friday, every Monday, every Wednesday on Dynamite, Raw, and SmackDown. Your thoughts on the card coming in, Nick, and then your overall thoughts before we break it all down.
You hit the nail on the head, Ryan. It's just matches to me now. We've got 3 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Friday. What does Netflix get? I mean, not NXT. They get two, don't they?
Yeah.
One or two. So and then TNA Impact is out there as well as AEW. It's just not as special, Ryan, to me. The only thing that's special is that music when it hits and they do the 40, and then you get in there. And I'm bummed on this one, Ryan, because again, you have so many matches, and they're not jobber matches anymore, right? Nitro was even doing jobber matches a little bit longer, I think, than Raw was. You get some Roadblocks or Big Ron Studd or, some of those other names out there, which make these other things, Clash of the Titan or Champions or whatever, that makes them better, right? Well, every Raw is filled. These matches are the same
we
matches
don't need
you could
this
get on
anymore.
Raw. I just feel like it's another night of wrestling, Ryan, with some really kind of weak angles on this one, if you will.
If there were even really angles.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start it out. It starts kind of the same way the last one did, with Jesse and Tessitore there on the podium, except for this one, I don't know if they were going for the San Antonio feel or what, but it started in Spanish for most of the people around the country. Did yours? Mine did. Off the left speaker, yes. It was in Spanish. The right speaker was in English. So, it was very good.
I had went out for a nice dinner, right?
And then take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner.
And I was going to lay in bed and watch. I said, I'm just going to watch it in the morning because I didn't know what was going on. Because Peacock, when you went and I watched it in the morning, it was clean as day.
Yeah. So I ended up switching because I couldn't take it any longer. So I did understand Jesse a little bit. He once again, just like last time he started this show, turns his back to the camera again. It's like he forgot how to do television. He's yelling at the crowd. Then he starts blaming the government and the governors and everybody for how cold it is everywhere.
Yeah, he sent the cold down or something, man.
Yeah,
from Minnesota.
He can't let you forget that he was the governor once upon a time. So he's doing that. He's wearing a Jesse's Retreat shirt. Kind of like back in the day, he used to wear the Plato's Retreat shirt. If you know, is what Tessitore said. So he's doing a little throwback there. Says he's looking forward to the IC title match. After last time telling us that it'd been 40 years since he'd been in WWE, even though it'd been like 8. He then says, I was here I think he said 9 years ago.
10 or 12 for Sheamus's Battle Royal or something.
Yeah, and then he changed the number again later when he said it again. But then all of a sudden he was back. Only Hogan lies, not Jesse at all. This was kind of a mess. We'll get more into that in a minute. Let's jump right into the matches. Rhea, Nia. Ladies Championship. Nia has just been moved over to Raw. Tell me about this match. There was some good moves in this match, Nick.
I think the positive I'll say is the thing I keep saying. Nia is cool because she's different than the other girls. That's the aerial move by Rhea Ripley when she jumped off the top turnbuckle to the outside and took out Nia. she can't do that with the Valkyrie girl. She'll kill her. Yeah, or something. I mean, it's a lot. Having Nia, I just think having Nia opens up a lot more moves and different. Like it's like Hogan fighting Andre versus Hogan fighting Savage. She just opens up a lot different move set and maybe can keep the card away from being, the same stereotypical match for the
And you
girls
you can show. I think they were trying to show Rhea as
as a
this is our
powerhouse.
star. This is our
Yeah,
killer. This is our female Hulk Hogan. Look what she can do to this big girl, which she did the finish. And then she
yeah.
picked her up on the shoulders the one time, dropped her back out of the Annihilator. I think that's
She
what they
looked
were going.
She looked like $1 million. This
Yep.
was my issue with the card itself, and maybe this was where they were going. The people that lost looked bad to me. The stuff they said about Nia, they reminded us that Rhea just beat her in February. Don't tell me that. If she's not going to win the match, they put up a thing on the screen. Rhea has never lost to Nia. Not like these are cool stats if Nia's going to win the match to me. Other than that, I would sell it more of, man, this Nia Jax is a monster, a mountain. I can't remember the last time Rhea has faced someone of this caliber.
Right.
Sell it a different way rather than telling me, because I had no faith that Nia was going to win this match. We know Rhea is spearheading into the Rumble.
Her
I mean, I
run's
thought some big
over. I mean, she just
I think
lost the
so.
belt and then immediately got flipped over to Raw, immediately fights the world champ, and immediately loses. All right, then we go to the IC title match. It's Sheamus still trying to complete the career Grand Slam. He's never won the IC belt. He is facing Braun Breaker. These guys have been on and off a little bit here for a while. Jesse is on commentary for this match. He is not in the main event as he was last time. They throw him in here for the Sheamus and Braun Breaker match. First thing he does is go right after the Steiner brothers, probably the line of the night. He goes, well, you know what he doesn't have? He's a Steiner. So that means 2 + 2 = 5. Great line. Great line. But I think that's probably where it ended for Jesse. He had
Ryan, it was
a terrible,
bad,
terrible
bad
night.
night.
Go ahead, Nick. I'm glad you agree. We have not spoken about this, by the way. I was worried I might be out on an island. I thought he was awful tonight.
He had another good closing at the end when he was talking with Pat about NFL and an analogy. But Ryan, he went out and is Braun the good guy? Because
We don't know. That's the problem with him.
Jesse's calling this match, but he's making excuses for Sheamus. I mean, it seemed like, he was like Braun, the ref's counting slow for Braun. That confused me. I think I know what he meant to say in his head. He took a bad ding at the Intercontinental title and just kind of left it. I think he was trying to say, this used to be the working man's title. This used to be the next step toward the world title. But he literally just came out and said the IC title was always the second class title to the WWE title. And you're like,
I wouldn't. I'd say he'd say it is now. Because it's right. We used to say Macho would always call it Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And he feuded with Hogan in '86 and all that. He was saying this used to be right below. Now he's basically saying, well, now it's like 8 steps below. It wasn't good.
No, and he wasn't great on calling the match. His excuse about, and I'm guessing he was fed that excuse.
The finish. He kept saying it and doubling down. Now, I don't know if the referee made a mistake. He clearly didn't count 3, and Jesse would not let it go.
I think Ryan, it was the same as the first one. Remember that Cody move where he hit KO with the chair? Is Cody going to use the chair? Yeah. Cody, they seem to be looking like, because his voice is legendary, setting him up for one of those moments on each Saturday Night's Main Event where they can replay his voice over and over on some sort of controversial finish. Except it wasn't.
Right. It wasn't controversial whatsoever.
The ref was literally looking at the dude's leg. And
that
he's like,
happens.
He didn't see it.
what, 4 or 5 times a match now when everybody kicks out of everything. 1, 2, oh, kick out. It was like a normal kick out.
They go down. I almost look as the hand's got to be out and not like this, because if the hand, like they're stopping, I don't know, man. And then he just kept going. I mean, the analogy, you can't review it.
And he did it again after the replay. It was brutal. It was brutal, dude. What do we always say about Jesse? He had great chemistry with Vince and great chemistry with Gorilla. They played off each other. When Vince would say something or Gorilla, it was almost like a setup for Jesse to knock it out of the park. We've now seen this twice with Cole and with Pat McAfee. There's no chemistry there at all. You saw it with when he made fun of his code. You know who this is? It's Damien. I don't think those guys had a clue what to say to him. You know, Cole, as good as he is compared to what he used to be, he's still a stiff. He's still a stiff, even though he's a million times better. And Pat, I don't know what it is with Pat. If Pat's not super familiar with the product either, other than, you know, what he's doing currently. And he's always used to being the funny guy, the jokester, the prankster. I don't think Pat knows what to do when someone else is in that role and he has to play off that guy. Because if you watch Pat, he's always the one-liner guy and the funny guy.
Ryan,
he's in the opposite role here, and it's oil and water, dude. It doesn't work.
I'm with you. I just don't know. They need to work more with him. I think, and I know I did see him reading off script, but
here's the other thing. I don't know that you can work with him, like we said before, and like the finish. And I told you leading into the first Saturday night's main event, I watched at least 5 interviews with him, whether it was on the NFL Network, WFAN in New York, you name it, anything. He gets something in his head, and that's it. He's going to keep saying it. He's going to keep driving it home no matter what. And I mean, to the one interview, they were just laughing because he just kept going with things. And they'd look over and you'd see a guy laughing at his producer over here. He's like giggling. When he gets something in his head, he's going to say it and he's going to do what he wants to do, whether it makes sense or not. That whole thing with the weather, like, bro, you're in San Antonio. What are you talking about? Like, this was not good. As good as the first one was, he was not good on this at all. That said, this match was good. There was some good stuff in this match between Sheamus and Braun. The spear on the outside, I thought Sheamus smoked his head on the side of the steps. That was great. Sheamus flipped up to the top. Then he gets Frankensteinered off the thing, brogue kick. Foot is on the ropes. That's the finish that we talked about that Jesse said it was done. The finish of this match was real sloppy. Wasn't very good.
Looked like he just went in and did a somersault.
Yeah, but the match was good besides that.
It was a great match, Ryan. But again, did you really think Sheamus was going to win?
0 chance. 0.0%.
That's my issue with this
chance.
card tonight.
Yep.
First 2 matches, you knew who was winning. Why am I watching?
Shawn Michaels comes down. They go to commercials. They come back. He's there to officiate the contract signing. It was kind of funny. Some guy had an HBK as mid sign, and Michaels points at him and goes, ah, ha, ha. Dude, back in the day, that kid would have gotten murdered. But a little different times. KO is wearing a Cody Sucks Eggs shirt, which if you know anything about the Dusty Terry Funk feud, that was Terry Funk's shirt back in the day. Dusty Sucks Eggs. And KO's been doing that for a while. He said he was a son of a Canadian electrician or something the other day. Pretty funny, man.
Not to bring it up too early, Ryan, but I've been KO right now because we said we're going to start filling out like our awards for the end of the year. We do. KO is great on the mic right now, man. He is really making this feud, I think, better than it could have. It might even be because he's been so great on the mic.
Absolutely, no question. They sign the contract. Kevin freaks out, says he's the real champ. He's going to win. Then Shawn tells him, you sound like you're jealous, man. So then you know where this is going at this point. Because Shawn is from San Antonio, know either he's going to get murdered or he's going to, if it were Vince, Shawn probably would have been left laying. But anyway, he signs a thing, smacks Sean with the contract. It ends up with HBK super kicking KO, and that's how we end. One funny thing here, though, Sean goes, "There's only one thing left to do: raise the belts to the rafters." What are they going to beam these things up to what is Scotty from Star Trek going to show up? Beam me up.
I thought he was going to say.
Over.
I thought he was going to say fight when he started saying that, because like these contracts, they always end in chaos. So yeah, I thought he was going to say fight. Yeah, he's like, put him. I'm like, so we're gonna then just leave him in San
Is a helicopter going to go take him?
Like,
I thought he was going to take that metal thing, because if you looked at it, it was even with Cody's eyes. I thought he was going to smoke him in the head with it.
But shades of the Geritron.
5,000.
5,000, man. Yeah. That would have been great. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm looking at it, and dude, the thing is like right between his eyes. I'm like, oh, he's gonna smoke him with that. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, beam me up, Scotty. We are going to Indy. Not much here, Nick. Right? I mean, it was just a classic signing. Probably the moment of the night coming here next. Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu. This is really our first look at Jacob Fatu in WWE in a singles match. Kind of what you thought it would be, two big guys going at it. Fatu cutting another promo on the way to the gorilla position in the back. He's wearing a lei, which I thought was interesting because, we have the whole Uafala thing going. Then it ended up Jay was wearing one also later in the show, but a little interesting there. Here we go. We haven't quite heard them say this about Jacob yet. He's coming down to the ring. Cole goes, he spent 3 stints in jail before he was 18 years old, which is all true. And then he goes, it was so bad when he got out, he was sleeping on a mattress. Right. What a dangerous guy on a mattress. What are you going to tell me next? He had a pillow and a comforter too? Holy cow. Why didn't you tell me this guy sleeps on a mattress? What's he supposed to
looking
sleep
for hard
on?
life.
As opposed to what? The couch?
Man.
Where was he? So do I. I'm dangerous, dude. You better look out.
God.
That was odd. Little misspeak there. Before we get into the finish here, Nick, one last thing. Braun Strowman, he's been doing it for a while where he runs around the ring and he does the locomotive thing. Yeah. And at one point, they were actually playing a choo-choo horn when he did that. I don't know if he was blown up or what his deal was. He should never do this ever again. He looked like the earthquake doing his. He was moving so slow around that ring. And on top of that, Braun Breaker does that now. And they talk about how fast he is, 23 miles an hour. This guy's going earthquake style around the ring. Never again do I want to see that guy do that. Obviously, the finish, Nick, talk about Jacob just absolutely dismantling Braun Strowman here.
I thought it was okay, Ryan, though. The only thing that gets me, though, is they just did this with Bronson Reed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, we are literally like on the same wire with everything.
It took again, I get what you want to do. You want to establish Jake, because you got going into Mania. We probably want to get Jacob Fatu in a marquee match at WrestleMania. And what better way is to take him out, have him take out this monster Strowman. And I don't really mind it because I think we've seen what Strowman is, Ryan. I don't see Strowman main eventing WrestleMania. But Ryan, from the whole thing, though, the officials come out, right? They try to hold him back.
Right.
He walks away. He comes back. This whole thing, we just watched Braun Strowman do this to umpteen other superstars.
Bronson Reed, but yes.
Bronson Reed, excuse me.
Yeah, I thought the same exact thing. We just saw the same exact thing. Now, it worked again.
It did.
But did it work? Because he's a heel, and they are chanting Fatu, 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 one more time, one more time.
Well, and that's the difference when you're doing it to someone like Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed, who the fans dislike Bronson Reed and love Seth Rollins. Now, I guess you can say he did take out the monster, though. I mean, that's something they can push him with a little bit. But, again, I didn't think it was amazing or anything. I didn't think it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but
Well, here's something I didn't even think of till right this second. He did the same thing you're talking about when he nailed Seth over and over again. But then he just had that match with Braun Strowman where he did the splash tsunami
right.
or whatever.
I guess
on a
he
car
was
and all this
two
stuff.
bronze.
It's the same freaking guy.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, you're right.
It was good though, man. Jacob was as advertised. I don't know a single person out there that doesn't think this guy's sweet and wanted to see something like this. I do think what they did was well done. He took that chair and just fired it at that guy's head when he got in the ring. I mean, that was like, Attitude Era style, and just killing guys. I was just waiting for Jesse to come out and go, look at that snot, drool hanging all down his face and everything.
My
he
only
looked
issue,
like a maniac.
The way he's billed is kind of contradictory toward what the audience is saying. I don't know how this guy works as a face, Ryan, with all the stuff he does and the way he like. It's going to be real because the fans seemingly like this guy. They want to see
so bad he's good.
I mean, I don't know if they're, but I guess they keep going. Hopefully, I really enjoy him, but the match.
They're going to be in trouble if he ends up feuding with Solo, which is where I think they're going, because people don't care about Solo, and you're going to run into that where people are going to cheer for Jacob because he's nuts and he's different and cool. They're not going to cheer for Solo if that ends up happening. All right. Cool, but yes, you're exactly right. I'm with you. The same stuff we already saw. Last match is your main event. It is for the world title. It is Gunther against Jey Uso. I could not see Jey Uso.
There's no way Jey's winning.
He is not ready whatsoever to win this. I didn't like the finish at all. The match is fine, but the finish, Uso hits 2 spears. Gunther kicks out of him. He then goes up to the top, does his Uso splash, kicks out of it. They have the crowd. The crowd's going nuts. He goes for another spear, blocked, 2 power bombs, match is over. Just like that. This guy just got hit with nuclear weapons and just power bombs him twice and the match is over. That is very AEW to me. I didn't like that at all.
Not to back up on you, Ripley did that with the Annihilator. First time I've ever seen the Annihilator hit on someone to my right, face down. She's back up and pushing her off the turnbuckle seconds later. This is very AEW. All this that you're not selling these guys top marquee moves. That was, like you said, the match, fine. Again, I don't like all the repeat of Michaels Taker moves where everybody's got a kick out of everybody's finisher 4 times, 5 times. And Jey Uso, he's way over more than I ever thought he would be as a singles, but it's still not there for me, Ryan. He's just a guy, and anytime he's not connected to the bloodline, I don't care. And I don't mean that disrespectful. The guy can work, the guy can talk. He's not bad. He's not like an instant channel changer.
He's just
or anything
not
like that.
Main event. He should be like high mid card Jey Uso. That should be his name.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what he is, though, man.
Yeah. As I catch on fire here, we talked about that last Saturday night's main event was kind of like a glorified house show. I thought this one was way more a glorified house show than the last one even was.
Yeah, I agree. Just matches.
All right. Yeah, so not a great showing here. I know a lot of people liked it. It once again was fun. You had Lillian Garcia with the old MSG microphone that they made the bright colors and put SMNE on it. A la the Fink back in the day, WrestleMania 1 style, Madison Square Garden style. Thought that was cool. They were definitely feeding into the old school thing again. Hacksaw Duggan's there, $1 Million Man's there, all that sort of thing. So it is a cool little retro thing for people like us that grew up watching Saturday Night's Main Event. But if you missed this show outside of Jacob Fatu, you didn't really miss anything.
And we get this show every Friday and Monday, right? It's called Raw and SmackDown. It's not special. Wrestling is today.
And it's hard to do too a week before the Royal Rumble because they're not going to give a ton away, you know.
No.
Speaking of, let's get to the Rumble. We mentioned it at the top. It is next Saturday. It is maybe one of the best Rumbles as far as, wow, there's probably 5 dudes that can win this. And
depending how they're going,
I won't be surprised with any of the 5. Nick, run down real quick if you can. Who is your favorite, and maybe who are you, if you can put them maybe in some sort of order? Who do you got? You got your 1 through 5. Who do you think?
My top guy to come out of this, I think is probably, if I had to guess, is going to be CM Punk.
Yeah,
maybe
me too. Number one.
And here's why I don't say John Cena, who is in my top 5 as well. He's advertised for that damn Elimination Chamber.
He's the only thing advertised.
Why is he in the chamber if he's then already got? So that's why I just feel like John's gonna, and we're gonna have to go through that same promo again. Oh, I can join the Rumble, and he's gonna come out and be like, "I know it, guys. I ruined my." But wait, the elimination. So that on an outside turn, maybe The Rock, if they were gonna do that match, he would be. The other way you're trending is probably looking away from Cody's belt and at Gunther's belt if you're going to go with it, because that, I think, is the belt that opens up the more opportunities to win this Royal Rumble, because I think there's more people that could face him versus Cody, if that makes sense. You could do
because you have more. They're all faces.
Right. You could do, or you could, and you don't know what Gunther is. He could be flipped by Mania to full face. He's sometimes a face, sometimes. You got Seth Rollins out there. You've got Drew McIntyre. Those got to be big names to possibly come out of this thing. So those would probably be rounding out my top 5. In no particular, Punk first, but a Cena, outside chance of The Rock, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. And any of them could do it. You could see this going again. Goldberg, I know.
No.
You don't think so?
No, 0%.
Even a match with Gunther at WrestleMania for his.
I cannot see him coming out of nowhere and winning the Rumble.
I wouldn't say it either, Ryan. I don't see it either. But
no way.
I don't know, because I've heard he is going to get it. I don't know if it's true that they have a retirement match planned for him.
I think they do, but there ain't no way that's happening. You thought Bautista was bad? People will go crazy. Like Hogan at Bash of the Beach 96 would be like, "Hey, easy with the trash in the ring."
Yeah, probably.
Quit throwing things. Dude, they will not like that. I think Punk wins. I think he is the clear-cut favorite. I think you said it because of Cena. He is the only thing advertised. That's all they're advertising for the Chamber. So I think those two might be the last 2. And then Punk throws out Cena.
How do they get that belt off of? Does Cody lose at this ladder match?
He either fights Cody or he fights Gunther. I think either way is perfectly fine.
You don't think he's fighting Roman?
Who?
Punk?
Not if he wins the Chamber. No,
Punk, not Cena.
Yeah.
So how did he
wins the Rumble? If he wins the Rumble, and then you might get The Rock and Roman. Or Roman fights Jacob Fatu.
Do you think Cody is riding into WrestleMania with the belt?
Absolutely.
No chance Kevin Owens defeating him at Royal Rumble in a ladder match upset.
I don't see it. Because then you would go KO and Sami Zayn for the belt at WrestleMania. I can't
That's where
see
I think
that
KO
either.
is going. I hated to tell you, I didn't know if you saw that. I do think we're going towards Kevin Owens.
I think
Sami
it's
Zayn
obvious.
At WrestleMania.
Obvious. Yeah, but I hope it's not for the belt, because then you have Cody, Cena, Roman, Rock, Punk, all without the belt.
I think Cena's going for a belt at Mania. Cena will be in a title
He'll win
match.
the Elimination Chamber.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. Or the title, one of the titles is on the line in the Chamber, which they did at WrestleMania 33 when Cena wins the Rumble,
Sure.
and then all of a sudden Bray Wyatt Orton won the Rumble. Then all of a sudden Bray Wyatt wins the Elimination Chamber. That could happen and throw a monkey wrench in things.
Yeah.
But I think there's
Yeah.
6 dudes who are all going to fight in the main matches at Mania, but you just don't know which order it's going to be. Punk could
Right.
fight Roman. He could fight Cody. He could fight Gunther. He will fight one of those. I don't know which one. You know,
And
it's kind of odd.
And nobody has a for sure on The Rock. So we do not know if The Rock is
Yeah.
even available, if that is gone by the by. I don't know. You know,
If The Rock's in the Rumble, he's going to win.
yes,
But I don't think
see that.
we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think
If I were to
think that-
bet the house, I would say the final 2 in here are Punk and Cena, and Punk
But
throws out Cena.
here's the thing, though, Ryan. If The Rock is in the Rumble and he wins, then Cody has to drop that belt to KO, because you would assume at Elimination Chamber, Roman Reigns is getting it back, or somebody. Why
could
would
happen.
The Rock win? Why would The Rock win the Rumble and then challenge Roman for nothing? Like, he's got to have
Unless
a belt.
they just nix the whole Netflix thing and Cody fights The Rock.
I don't want to watch that.
I don't either, but I don't know why anybody wants to watch that.
I would watch. I shouldn't say that. I would watch that at like Summers. I just want to watch him fight the Roman first. Like that's what I just want to watch, the Rock Roman, the one we've been waiting for. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
on the female side, who you got going into that one?
I think there's only 3 people. It's funny. They forgot that the Women's Rumble was even happening until the other day. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We forgot. Here's 20 girls all fighting all
throw
at once.
them all out there in the ring. Yep, just throw them out there.
Unless there's something that I'm not thinking about or remembering or whatever, I think it's Charlotte, Becky, and Bianca. And I don't see that there's anybody else. And I'll be honest, if Charlotte wins, I think people are going to be pissed. No one cares. No one cares. I mean, more people are looking at her face than they care about where she been.
Those are the rumored matches from what I've heard. Charlotte versus Stratton, Lynch versus Ripley are the rumored Now, again, these are all just rumors. I'm not in the back. I don't know. But, you know, I think you're right, Ryan. I mean, we're not going to see a repeat of Bailey. Ripley and Stratton are not in this thing. So there's no way Jax is going on to win this. So you're down to, those 3, you know, Io Sky's done. Her time at the top has come and went. We're not going to, even if they could re-debut Asuka or something, they're not
She
putting
could
her
be
in
in
the
it.
and my only thing, I don't think Bianca has a chance. I think Jade, there's something going on. I think Bianca is going to end up being the person that jumped Jade if they do this correctly.
Well, we don't know where the heck she's at.
Right. I don't know what's going on with her, but it would be, I mean,
the match I want to see is Bianca and Rhea. That's the one
that intrigues me.
They've been teasing that for 3 years in the Rumble, and they haven't fought yet on the big card. They haven't feuded yet. That's the money match. But unfortunately, Bianca's been stale for a year. So,
well, and she's kind of caught because it's hard to, I mean, unless, you know, so I don't know. It's hard to move her on from Jade when you know Jade's coming back. They kind of have that situation kind of just paused.
They're in a rough territory right now.
They just don't have a deep division. And we've talked about this. Even with Becky, and you know me, Becky's my second favorite of all time behind Trish. I don't know what you do with her right now. She's been heel and face so many times throughout the past, and I'm really perplexed as how she's going to be received. Charlotte Flair, I know, again,
dude.
But I do expect a pop. Even Del Rio got a pop when he showed back up. You know,
yeah, she'll get a pop, but if she wins, man, I don't think people are going to be happy. I mean, obviously she has fans, but I mean, like the vast majority, because even that promo they did, it's the same stuff. I'm the GOAT. I'm the greatest. Like it's the same.
She's very robotic. Yeah. Who wins, Ryan? Who wins to make people happy? If you were pleasing the fans, who do you book to win this thing?
I speak for myself, and I probably won't be over either. Bianca.
Yeah.
Bianca and Rhea, but I don't see that happening either. Yeah, I mean, it could. But no, dude, we've said it for at least 6 months, if not an entire year. This women's division is stale, dude.
Yes.
It's not good at all. Let's stay there though. How about who are some surprises? Is there anybody that maybe they could surprise and
Jordan
win?
Grace is going to be. I think she'll be in
there
this
for sure.
I don't think she has a. They're not going to debut an Impact wrestler and have her walk out as
I
Royal
wouldn't think
Rumble
so. I wouldn't think.
champion. That would shock me. I don't know. I've heard the Bellas may make a surprise because the Women's Rumble.
Well, Nikki,
yeah,
Bree will not.
Yeah, Brie will not. I got that, but I'm not a big like. I don't want to see Molly Holly or anybody. I'm joking, but I don't want to see any of these like low level girls because I know you're just gonna have them in there to truck them out. And again, it's a shot at your world title, right? So it should be key players. But I'm with you, Ryan. I mean,
I think there's 3 people that can win, and
you're
that's
right.
it.
I mean, I do too. I don't know how you spread them out in this to make that interesting.
We will see. Roxanne Perez will probably be in it. I don't know who else from NXT.
I don't care.
Will probably be in it, but Jade maybe. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what her situation is.
I was hoping to see something with Jade where maybe we find out in the Rumble, like she gets in there and points at Bianca and say, like, we can read it was you, or something like that. I think that would be a really cool moment, setting that up. I've said before, I want to see Bianca as a heel. There's so many people that I want to see as a heel. Cody being another, John Cena, but it'd be cool. I don't know, though. We'll see what happens.
For the dudes, surprises. What do you got?
Probably not Hogan.
Can't even walk.
I know, I'm just CM Punk was going to throw him out, right?
Yeah.
But I don't. As far as surprises, who really is there that I would care to see? I mean, you're going to throw Booker in there?
Well, I don't know. Care to see? Just who do you think? I mean, I don't care to see any surprises. Like we always said, it's for your world title. I don't want to see Booker T and Kevin Nash.
This has already been so stacked, Ryan. I don't know. Like I said,
I got a bunch.
Maybe Goldberg. I don't know if they drop him. How they would do that. I don't know, but obviously Cena. Who you got? I'm not even thinking.
Joe Henry will be in it for sure.
See, I don't care, Ryan.
I don't saying you care. Yeah, I'm telling you he's going to be there. I mean, he's the TNA World Champion now.
Yeah.
Which on the other end, he beats Dolph Ziggler. Does Dolph Ziggler go in this? And if he is, what do they call him? If he's in it,
I don't know that he will be.
He might not be. I'm not sure. I mean, you can't bring the entire TNA roster.
I don't want to see the TNA roster.
I'm just telling you, dude. I don't care, but I'm just telling you this might happen. Here's somebody I know you'll really care about. What about the Hardys?
Only if it's the Matt Hardy weird gimmick will I care.
All right, here's some more other people I got, man. Obviously, The Rock. Any chance, and I don't think there is, Big E.
I'm not medical, Ryan. I don't know his situation, and if there's an ever available, it would be awesome.
I wouldn't waste it here.
You're probably right. I mean,
because what does the Royal Rumble have to do with his feud with the other guys? I wouldn't,
unless he just trucks them out, comes in there and just eliminates both the New Day. But I wouldn't waste it. He could. I just don't, Ryan. I don't know what it is. I would love to see E back. There's one you got me on that. I take that. I would love to see Big E back, but Ryan, I just don't know the med part on that, man.
Well, being that they haven't done anything with that yet, I mean, they're still just like cutting promos in the back, and if they do come out, they don't talk. So they're stalling and stalling and stalling. Why are they stalling? Why not just go with this? So it makes you think a little bit. I don't know if you waste it in the Rumble, though. Pat McAfee.
I'm sure he'll be in the Rumble.
And does Corey Graves throw him out?
Man, that's two spots, Ryan. That's two spots.
No. Corey Graves like just shows up. Because Corey Graves, as far as we're concerned, is not medically cleared. But he is medically cleared, and he has been medically cleared. Why did they do all that crap with him getting bumped off Raw?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could. Again, though, Pat, the last time I was a joke, man. Remember that?
This will be a joke. He'll get in there, and Graves will show up and knock him out.
Yeah, he was too scared that last time, and he didn't really want to get in. Remember that? And I don't like that, right? This is a waste of a slot. Maybe, though. I mean, that certainly sounds like it legitimately could happen.
Well, you're setting up angles. I mean,
but and to have those two guys fight?
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
Okay,
I think that's why they did this whole thing with Corey Graves. I mean, all of a sudden he's just back on TV. Like, I mean, it could have been real, but I don't think it was real.
Dude, Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, man.
I don't care, but
I don't either, man. But yeah, you could be right, Ryan. That's a good call.
Matt Cardona.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, and Ryan, I'll tell people he's not the same guy if you haven't watched him. He's not he's not Long Island Ice T or Z or whatever. He is jacked. He speaks a lot better. He looks good. I mean, I don't know how high he could climb. I know his woman is here. So, I mean, that may, I don't know if she can put in some good word for him and get him back in good graces.
Even if it's a one-off, I can definitely see it because he's been doing one-offs everywhere.
But would he, if it's a one-off, he's going to debut he's going to come out probably as woo, woo, woo.
No.
You don't think so?
No chance. This is totally different. This is totally different than Nick Nemeth and Dolph Ziggler. He's a total different guy now.
I agree, but you have a huge chunk of audience who has no idea who he is.
I disagree.
You think so?
Absolutely disagree. Everybody knows that he's Matt Cardona. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know that tons of people. I mean, how many people watch Impact Wrestling, man?
Well, the same people. Well, he was on AEW. He's been all over. I mean, the internet. He got popular because of the internet.
Right. I just don't.
His internet persona has been his real name forever now.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I just don't know how many. I don't know the little kids and whatnot. If they'll.
The little kids don't remember Woo 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 either. That was 10 years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. They won't know who he is. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know
what else. They're not going to know Jordan Grace either.
No, that's true. I mean, but I think she's signed. I think she is coming.
She is. Yeah, she's signed.
She's an actual girl. They're not just introducing for a one-off. She's going to be on the show. Matt Cardona. I mean, maybe I would. I never hated the guy. His gimmick was terrible when he was here, but
Well, it was Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Last one. And who knows, again, any chance Ricky Starks shows up?
He'd have to be released, though, right? Or is he done?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, because all these guys, I just saw a huge picture with all these guys, Miro and Penta's brother, Ray Phoenix, and, Ricky Starks was on there, as well as some others who are kind of Britt Baker, some people who are just kind of sitting there with contracts not being used, and nobody really knows when they end, when they're up, or how long they got due to injury stipulations and whatnot.
But if he is available, they're not going to broadcast it today, and then everybody will know he's showing up in the Rumble. I would. They're going to keep that as low as possible. The only thing I could see is AEW would do this. Tony Khan goes on Twitter right now and goes, "I released Ricky Starks," so then that gives up,
100%. But I mean,
I don't know. That'd be smart of him to do that. By the way,
it would too. But I mean, it could also I don't know how much it would back. Could backfire the other way and getting people. Oh, Ricky Starks is going to be there. Okay,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's so more people watch. But
I mean, how are they going to debut him? I don't know.
All right, so you think there is a chance KO beats Cody?
Like 5%, like
5%. Okay,
like not much. I mean, but I'm wondering your angles because I know you're not a big Cody is big enough to have a singles match at WrestleMania without a belt. Like he is that, like they could do something with him. I'm looking at the guys and what you could do. Sammy and Kevin has no interest in me right now, Ryan. I don't care what their feud is. I've watched them fight. It seems like Rock Triple H to me, Ryan. We've seen these
Yeah.
guys fight
Yeah.
all over the country, all different styles. One's been face, one's been heel. Maybe a belt intrigues that feud and Sammy wins he gets his moment at WrestleMania. I mean, I'm thinking way out there. I don't think so, but
Well, I forgot the biggest guy who, if Cody is going to fight at Mania without a belt, he's probably going to fight Randy Orton. Does Randy Orton show up in the Rumble? And then would that be Cody's match if he doesn't fight for a belt at WrestleMania?
Randy could come back in the Rumble. I think it'd be kind of a waste because you're not really popping. I mean, people, I don't
Does
know.
he
Like
come out in the Cody match?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's going to
If Cody loses, he's going to lose because someone interferes.
Someone has to interfere.
And it's either Sami Zayn or it's Randy
and
Orton.
we've got one more night because what left you on Saturday night's main event is the faces walked out with their heads held high. Had that been the go home show, I think Owens would have a lot more chance on his because he got beat up last, right? Usually the guy, but I assume we'll know a little bit more when Friday goes off. When I'm sure Kevin's standing over Cody or something on Friday, and if that happens, I assume Cody's going to win the match. But I do think Cody's winning. I do. I'm just saying on an outside chance. I mean, maybe Sammy cost Kevin, and that's how they move towards Sammy and KO going. But again, I don't. Then you kind of just wait with Cody for, I guess, Cena or Seth or who. I don't really want to watch him fight Seth again.
No, they can't.
I don't think so either, right?
I just can't see that. I just can't see that. So, if you had to bet today, WrestleMania 2 title matches, what are they?
I don't believe The Rock's going to be here, Ryan. I just, until I see him lace up those boots and walk down. So I'm going to go Punk Roman at WrestleMania. I'm going to go Cody John Cena at WrestleMania. And again, I'm going to go Ripley versus Lynch at WrestleMania and Stratton versus Flair at Wrestle. Those will be your gold title matches. I believe. In my only thing is I don't.
So Roman somehow beats Gunther,
or Punk does.
If he wins the Rumble, though.
I don't know. That's the thing is the belt. We still got the chamber to move that belt. Or
Yeah.
one of those belts.
Roman could win it, but then against Cena. What do you do with Cena then?
Do you think Cena Punk would go to Mania? They have their feud. They have a rich history. I mean,
they could. It won't be a title match though. It'll just be a match.
Because I don't want to do Cody Roman 3, right?
No.
We're not doing that.
I hope not.
Let's hope not. Gunther is kind of the issue here right now because he's kind of the odd man out, Ryan, because he's not as big as the other guys we're talking about, in my opinion.
Well, you got 3 months till Mania,
right?
So Goldberg could at some point cost Gunther the belt,
which is probably going to happen. That would make sense, and then. Yeah, so you get those two, but who does he drop it to he drops it to Punk?
I don't know.
I think that's.
I mean, if you think Roman's going to be a title match, he could lose it to Roman, but
I don't know, man, because Roman Punk is a tough match because neither one of them are full timers.
Punk is, but he doesn't wrestle all the time.
No, he doesn't wrestle. He's only had 4 matches last year or something like that. But I don't know.
He was hurt the whole time.
Right, but even when he comes out, it's not like he's wrestling on Raw like now.
He shouldn't.
Right, he's not a regular wrestler on the show every week.
But
I don't know, Ryan. He is a lot. Sometimes, yeah, he is there. Yeah, cutting promos or whatever. I don't know. It's very intriguing where you go. Because right now, like I said, that Gunther belt is weird because I don't see him walking into Mania with that belt. And unless he defeats Goldberg and remains champion. But I agree.
Goldberg's not winning.
No. But I'm just saying, are they going to book Goldberg Gunther for the belt?
I can't imagine. I mean, maybe. I think if he still has that belt, though, that's definitely like opening one of the two nights. That is not a title
Sure.
match.
Well,
that's opening the show.
I think Gunther Goldberg also is a better match if Gunther doesn't have the belt. Because then you have that outside chance that maybe Goldberg could win his last match. Goldberg's not defeating him if he has that belt. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. So
I don't even care about Goldberg, to be honest.
Me neither.
I mean, like he's a non-factor to me.
I'm just ripping out the card and where we're trying to go with these guys because it's a little because you're gonna have to move these because I just don't understand how Punk wins the Rumble and challenges Roman if Roman doesn't have a belt.
I don't think he's challenging Roman.
You think he's going to challenge Gunther or Cody?
I mean, Roman would have to win the belt. He could win it in the chamber, I guess, but then that would mean like Cena would win the Rumble.
Is Roman in the Rumble?
Yeah.
He is. Roman could win this thing.
Could. I mean,
he could.
He could. I don't think anybody's thinking about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, but that would be the easy. I mean, I guess if then he could challenge. That's why I'm saying.
If Roman wins, somebody else is winning one of those two belts for sure. Because Roman Gunther, and then Cody Roman 3.
Not again. Cody can't be a face versus face. Cody Roman, like that's not going down. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else would have to win one of those belts, and then Roman win. You know. You could see the belt change in the chamber.
I think it's going to, Ryan. I think it's going to Cena in the chamber. The more I think about it, I think Cena walks in, he gets his record-breaking whatever. He walks into WrestleMania as the champ. And that allows him to, you know, he doesn't necessarily have to lose at Mania either. He's got a year to get that strap off him. You know, I don't know. I mean, he can lose too. I mean, we know the guy can lose. But I don't this is going to be an interesting, I think
that's what makes it good is we have no idea. We just threw out like 50 scenarios, you know?
And they've got outside, we've said this, outside of Roman, man, everybody else is kind of jam-packed. There's like Roman, and then there's like 5 guys right here who are all at the kind of same caliber. You know, your Seth Rollins, your Drew McIntyre, your Cody Rhodes. You know, those guys, you know, Roman is obviously your premier guy. But now shuffling them and making the titles work, it's going to be an interesting ride toward Mania, man.
Well, Roman's interesting, too, because we have not seen him do anything except Bloodline for 4 years.
Right.
So this is like the first time that we were like, what do you do with Roman? Before we go, the favor. I was talking about this with somebody else the other day. Most people assume, the favor is either going to be a title shot or it's going to be the main event. Well, Paul Heyman just has the ability to put him in the main event. That doesn't make any sense. The only way Paul Heyman would have the ability to put Punk in a main event or a title match is if Roman has the belt. Because that's his guy, and then he can say, okay, I'm giving you a title shot. Paul Heyman is not Triple H. He is not Nick Aldis. He's not whoever. Like, how does he have the ability to go, okay, Punk, you're in the main event? So that doesn't make any sense unless Roman has the belt.
Or unless the favor is when we fight, you're in my corner.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not saying that's great, but I'm saying
that's different, though, than I'm putting you in the main event.
Right, but yeah, now we can't. I'm just saying what else it could be that he requests because you're right. Who the hell is Paul Heyman to say this and that and this and that? You know, yeah, I mean, but he could if they skewed that way and went that way. The match is set. Heyman is standing in the ring with Roman, and the last favor is called in. No, you're walking out with me. You're in my corner for this match. And then, I mean, what I would assume there is it's going to be a Punk Heyman screw job.
You would assume so.
Right? I assume.
So basically, Nick, you're calling for chaos here in the next 3 months.
Yeah, there's going to be. I mean, I don't. You got to move these belts. Gunther, it's the Gunther belt, and Cody, because Cody's a top guy. I don't want to see Cody fight Roman. You've got certain guys. It is a puzzle to get to the top, but what's stopping you is there's certain guys that don't work or we don't want to see again. Like you're mad. Okay, well, this guy fights this guy. Well, that leaves Cody and Roman. Well, we don't want to see that again. You know,
I don't think that's happening.
Right. So then you're looking again like, okay, this now we move this here, Punk versus McIntyre. No, we just did that. They can't.
That's
so you're kind of gearing these. There's only a few ways these work, but you also got to make it work within moving the titles too, right? The titles got to be on the right people to have the challenges go out. So I do think it's going to be chaos. I think at least one of those belts is switching before WrestleMania.
It could be. Yeah, again, all these guys have 3 different opponents they can fight. I don't know that Roman Punk needs a belt if they fight. I don't know that they.
No, it doesn't.
So,
especially with the Paul Heyman intrigue, you got that underlining story. You got a lot there.
I don't know that Roman fights for a belt at this. If he fights The Rock, doesn't need it. Punk doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't.
Jacob Fatu doesn't need it. So.
I think we'll definitely know a lot more after Saturday, Ryan, because if you're right, I mean, if Punk wins, we have got to assume that belt's got to get on Roman, right?
No.
No? Who would Punk fight for do you want to watch him fight? Is he going to fight Cody?
It's not what I want. I'm just
right.
Like, yeah, I could see that.
Punk, Cody?
I could see that. I don't know if that's good or not, but I could see it. I mean, I could see Punk fighting anybody. I mean, he's straight out said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. He's like, I'm just here to win. I'm here to win the belt. So that could be against anybody, really. I could see him fight Cena. I could see Cena somehow winning the belt, and then we finally get the Cena-Punk match at a Mania, which we've never had.
I could see Cena, Punk, Cena, Cody. I'm sorry, Punk, Cena, Punk, Cody, Punk, Roman. Could you see Punk Gunther, though, for the WrestleMania?
I could. He's dropped his name. I don't think that's obviously anywhere near as big as the other ones, but I could see it. It doesn't interest me at all, but I could see it.
So, yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting.
It's the exact opposite of the other side, Ryan, where we can actually the women. The story seems to be like already written because it's the only way it's possibly can go. You've only got 5 girls,
right?
Like that's it,
and there's no intrigue in any of them.
No,
I know. I just got confused. I'm sure we confused everybody else with all the,
And you know what, Ryan? Isn't that great though?
Yeah,
that's
what
the Rumble's supposed to be about, man.
So many years we're like, well, we know this guy's going to win, or this guy, or that one or the other.
The path to WrestleMania, it's already written in stone.
Yep.
It's not this. I mean, it's very confusing this year, and that's kind of fun, man.
I like it.
This is going to be an interesting Rumble.
That's why the Rumble's good, man. That's why, that's why this one I think is going to be very good. Nick, as always, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
I got to go try to cool off. I'm getting sunburned over here, man, up in Michigan.
I got to go lay down after talking about the Rumble. I don't know what's going on, man.
Hey, Nick needs to smoke a cigarette. All right,
something.
Everybody, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much, and go watch our Rumble content. If not this year, there's tons of others out there on that YouTube page for you to check out. As always,
thank you.
Job Guys out.
You smell something, it's us, because we're the stuff.